Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about imputation methods. So this is the part number 10 and myself, Ali Sheikh. I'm the consultant at Trail Optima Inc. Okay, so let's dive into this part. Okay, so we're going to use the section 3.1.3, the date and time imputation flag variables, and section 4.5.1, identification of the rows used in a time point imputation analysis. And the section 4.9.4, the traceability when the multiple imputation method is used. So the information regarding the time point and the date and time imputation flags you can able to see from these sections in the version 1.1 implementation guidelines. So for this module you will need to reference the following materials. Please open these and refer to them throughout the training sessions. So the Adam model version 2.1, IG 1.1, and some series item terminology. Okay, this we will focus on the diverse imputation methods and the related variables in Adam. Okay, so the table of contents. Why impute? So understanding the rationale and necessity of the data imputation in clinical trials. So in the raw data, it is very common that some patients have missing data in some of the variables, assessed variables. So they might, for example, drop out for the trials, or they might just not show up for the certain visits. Okay, so the missing data is an issue. So here, so we will be go through and do what exactly we have to do the imputation. So these are the some table content. So like for example, imputing the partial dates and the time point imputations. Okay, so in clinical trials, as I mentioned, missing data can severely impact the integrity and reliability of the statistical analysis. Imputation is the process of replacing the missing data with the substitute values. Okay, so why is impute? So missing data reduce the sample size, which can decrease the statistical power of a study. So making it harder to detect true treatment effects, and imputation helps retain sample size. Okay, so we should have to be properly evaluate the missing values because it have the significant impact on the final result. So the reducing bias, if data are not missing completely at a random, simply excluding incomplete cases can introduce bias. Imputation attempts to mitigate this bias by providing the reasonable estimates for missing values. So Adam standards require clean documentation of imputation methods to ensure that analyses are transparent and reproducible, so which is crucial for regulatory submissions. Okay, so all imputation should be clearly stated in the SAP. Okay, and document in the define of Adam, which techniques to choose a specific case depends on the situation. Most often, the worst case or most conservative way is the preferred solution. Okay, so we have to traceable. So imputing the partial dates often occurs in a real world data where only the year and month are known. Imputation of these dates ensure a complete date for analysis. Okay, so there are some certain cases you have the day is missing, but the year and month is present. So we have to impute it. We have to impute it with the substitute values. So imputing partial dates. Adam provides specific guidance for handling the partial date and time information. The objective is to ensure that imputed dates are handling consistently and clearly identifiable. The standardized imputation rules: partial date should be imputed to a specific day, example 01, and our month 01 based on the series Adam implementation guidelines rule to ensure the valid date formats. Okay, so there are some standardized imputation rules. So if you check in the Adam IG, you will be having the valid date formats. Okay, so make sure we have to follow those implementation guideline rules, imputation rules. The traceability flags, corresponding imputation flags a variable is crucial for identifying which part of the date or imputed and maintaining the data lineage. So there will be a flag variable, so we have to know which part of the date is imputed. Okay, so the clinical event dates, so for events like adverse events or concomitant medication, specific imputation rules, example using the earliest possible date for start dates or latest of the injuries may apply. So if you check the AE and concomitant medication, they have a different some set of specific imputation rules. So imputing the partial dates, Adam IG 1.1 section 3.1.3, date and time imputation flag variables should be used to indicate whether a date or time component was imputed. This ensures the traceability and understanding of the data deviation. Understanding the implication of the imputation flag is vital. for data interpretations and validating analytical results. Okay, so if you go to the section 3.1.3, so you'll be having this information. Okay, and so imputing the partial dates, imputation flag variables, identifying the missing elements, pinpointing which part of the date string is incomplete, day, either day or month or year. So the first step is in applying appropriate imputation methods. Okay, the next step would be assigning the imputation flags. A dedicated imputation flag variable is populated to denote the specific element that was imputed, either day or month or year or blank for none. Okay, so we have to create a flag here. So ensuring the ADAM compliance. So this systematic approach ensures that imputed date adheres to ADAM standards, providing a transparent and consistent data structures for analysis. So you should have to follow the ADAM compliance. Okay, so here you can see, for example, if the day is missing here, the day is missing. This is a partial date. The pound symbol is here, the hash symbol is here, so it is represent the missing value. So you can see the flag will be having the D, and if it is a month is missing, it is M, and if a month and day is missing, the flag will be month M, and if a year is missing, so we have to pop up as year, and if a day is present and remaining month and day, year is missing, we have to consider as Y, and the year month is completely missing, so we have to put that. This table illustrates how ADAM imputation flags are assigned based on the missing data elements is in the SDTM dataset, ensuring complete and traceable date values for analysis. Okay, so imputing the partial dates, the mechanics. So when the dates or times are incomplete in SDTM, we impute the missing components and assign an imputation flag in ADAM. This ensures consistent date or time formatting for downstream analysis while maintaining the traceability to the original partial date. Okay, so here we see the TRT, SDT, so both the month and year is missing. So the analysis date will be imputed as 0 and John, and the time will be 00. So here the flag would be M because both M and day is missing, right? So the imputation we did with our missing day and month will be 0 and Jan. Okay, and if it is the time is missing, the time also imputed, so we have to keep it as hour for the flag. And if the day is missing, so we have to put 01. Okay, and if the month is missing, so everything is present here, so we consider as 03 December 2019, and the minutes are missing, so we keep it as a minute flag. But the flag with the ADTF is missing. So this is three different examples. You can clearly mention that if the day is missing, day and month is missing, and the day is missing, and the minutes are missing. Okay, so next, if you check time imputations, the time imputation is essential for handling the missing data in a longitudinal clinical trials. So various methods are employed to ensure the robust statistical analysis, each with the specific assumptions and applications. Okay, so last observation carried forward. Missing values are imputed with the last observed values for that subject. Simple but can underestimate variability. So we can use this method LOCF and a baseline observation carry forward. So the missing values are imputed with the subject's baseline observations, often used for endpoints where no change is expected. And the weighted last observation carry forward. So similar to LOCF, but incorporates weight based on time intervals or other factors, providing a more nonsense imputations. So these are the three methods we can use for the timing point of imputations. So the time point imputations identify the imputed records in ADAMS. To ensure the transparency and traceability in ADAM datasets, specific variables are critical for identifying the records where imputation has occurred. So for example, the D-type variables indicate the source of the data point, LOCF, BOCF, WOCF, explicitly flagging imputed records. And analysis date and time variables imputed date and time values. When the date and time is imputed, these variables reflect the imputed values. And the flag, the time imputation flag that specify which part of the date or time was imputed. So here, when there is imputation of the particular record, you will be finding out for the values either D-type variable will be indicated as either LOCF, BOCF, and WOCF, or if it is date and time is both are imputed, so these variables we have to the values will be imputed values are coming for these variables, and the flags, what are the imputed date value was date is happened for that, like for example either day or month or the time. So these flags will be indicated. Okay, so the time point imputation, ensuring the traceability. Maintaining the traceability is a paramount in clinical data programming. It ensures that all transformation, especially imputations, are transparent and verifiable. So the documentation, the thorough documentation of imputation rules and algorithm in the analysis data model specifications. The source data verifications, ability to trace imputed values back to the original source data, demonstrating the consistency. So make sure we should have to document, and it should have to be proper traceability where the imputed values back to the original source data. Okay, so this is an example identifying the LOCF records. So you can see the D type is there and the LOCF values, because the owl value is missing. So this value has carry forward to the next record for the week 2 analysis visit. Okay, so this record also imputed for the analysis value because these values are missing, but the records are present, so we have imputed, and they gave the sequence will be the similar sequence 31st for the imputed value. So this example demonstrates how both LOCF, WCF imputations are identified using the D-type variable, showcasing a more complex imputation scenarios. Okay, so here LOCF 138, so 138 has been imputed for these three records, and 140 the oval value. This is the worst observation carry forward. So we have to consider this one and make it as the worst observation carry forward. So this imputation will be given in the SAP. So based on that SOP, you can able to impute it, which value we have to consider. Okay, all right. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.